because you have your fresh eggs, you know exactly where the food's coming from, and you know exactly what they're eating. It's the easiest thing in the world to have, you know, charred from your garden and a poached egg on top, and you're done for dinner. So I think that's pretty cool. I printed out the town ordinances for Ypsilanti and for Ann Arbor. So depending on where you live, the basic rule of thumb is that in order to have chickens inside the city, you need to ask all of your neighbors' permission, usually the ones that abut your property. For Ann Arbor, you have to get written permission and bring it with the permit, and I didn't see that in the Ypsilanti one. But for both of them, you're only allowed to have 4 chickens, no roosters, and you're still under the auspices of the noise ordinances. So I think that just depends how kind your neighbors are, to be honest. But I'll leave these up here in case you want to look at them afterward. So where to find? Jenny asked me where I got the chickens, and it's an interesting thing because with only being allowed to have 4 in the city, when you buy them online, they come in straight runs. So you can get like 25 chicks at a time, or you can get 50 chicks at a time, you can get 100 chicks at a time. From like, those are, you know, obviously geared towards the big hatcheries, the big farms. There are a lot more websites now than there were a year ago when we decided to do this, that you can buy them individually. You can buy pullets individually. A pullet is a chicken that hasn't yet started laying, so the terminology, chick, pullet, chicken. The one thing about the pullets that I saw is that you really don't know how they've been treated for the last 12 weeks, 20 weeks, so that would be my only sort of caveat to that discussion. So I listed some where to find places. There's some great websites, like the A2 Backyard Chicken website has a classified board, and people will often post like, oh, I'm moving and I have chickens, or I know someone who has chickens, or I thought about talking to somebody who has chickens. The Chelsea Mill has a bulletin board where they often list where there are chickens that you can get. Or also, you could buy 25 and split them between 6 friends of yours. Would be obviously another way to do it. And if you want to go like the au naturel way, farmers markets, a lot of farmers have fertile eggs that you can buy, and so if you buy fertile eggs, you just put them in, you can get incubators. It's basically just a really strong light. You put the light on them for 3 weeks and you end up with chicks. So you can see like the whole process happening. The obviously difficulty with that is you might end up with a rooster, in which case you'd have to figure out how to get rid of the rooster. But chickens don't, the rooster part doesn't show up for like 8 to 12 weeks, so once it shows up, then you can either give them away or decide to make them into soup, however you'd like to feel about it. Thanks. Hi Laura, I'm Corinna.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, okay, so where to find? So those are all of the different options of where to find a chicken. So if you end up getting chicks, as I said, it's just basically a question of you want to mimic the idea that they're being sat on by a mother. And so when you first get them, if they were being taken care of by a mom, they'd literally like be underneath her wings, and she like kind of squats on top of them. It's fascinating to see this. They look like a big chicken breast, like a sort of, they spread out. But obviously you don't have that. So the way that they recommend, and how we did it for ours, is you just have like a big box, and you have a thermo lamp. You put it on one corner, and that way they can go in and out of the heat as they see fit. You want to have an area that's, you don't want to have the whole area covered with heat, because then you could fry the little ones. They're pretty fragile. And you can see how fragile they are because they actually will like, I mean, all they are is like a feeding heart. Hi, come on, sit down. Sit down, sit down. Would you like a handout? Do you not want to be in the sun? I could move on. Yeah. Have a handout. One for you. Hi, I'm Corinna. Hi. There you go.
Would you like me to make some more copies of your handouts for you? Because you have quite a few more people signed up for your session.
Sure.